Hello, and very happy to see you on my channel. This morning, we discussed together, does finding freedom really lay bare all the bitterness and infighting that drove Meghan and Harry to quit the royal family? And an observer said that Meghan and Harry's moans are just quibbles for their exit. The amazing thing about Finding Freedom, the new and probably not unauthorized biography of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, is that it miraculously manages to reinforce every single one of your existing beliefs about the couple, no matter what they happen to be. A fan? The book does everything in its power to demonstrate how thoroughly unwelcome the royal family and Buckingham Palace staff made Meghan feel, with courtiers sniping behind her back and Harry's own brother being snobbish and condescending when it came to discussing her. Examples of this behavior come thick and fast in the excerpts that have recently been published in the Times. Kate Middleton apparently once ran into Meghan before she married Harry on the grounds of Kensington Palace. They discovered they were both going shopping on the same street, but Kate didn't offer Meghan a ride. Observers noticed that it seemed as if the various royal households would attempt to undermine each other by scheduling conflicting social media posts and events. One member of the palace staff referred to the Sussexes as the squeaky third wheel of the monarchy. If you are of a certain disposition, then this book will underline precisely how Harry and Meghan's break from the royal family was less a decision and more a complete emotional necessity. But then again, this book is a book filled with such specific information that it appears to have been written with the support of its subjects, if not their full cooperation, called Finding Freedom. As Piers Morgan has pointed out in the Daily Mail, intentionally or otherwise, it implicitly draws a line between itself and Nelson Mandela's autobiography, Long Walk to Freedom. One of those books is about a man who spent 27 unimaginable years toiling away at hard labor on Robben Island. The other is about two rich people who decided to move out of a nice palace in England and into a nice mansion in Los Angeles without gaining or losing any tangible responsibilities. You could argue that a closer comparison would be found in Finding Nemo, in which a young clownfish leaves his family and everything immediately goes wrong. The other key text when discussing Finding Freedom is Andrew Morton's Diana, Her True Story, the gossip-filled 1992 biography that serves as Princess Diana's method of severing all ties with the royal family. That book became a sensation for its blockbuster revelations of alleged infidelity and attempted suicide by the future King of England's wife, putting the royal family under more strain than at any time in living memory. But again, it isn't a fair comparison. Finding Freedom has none of the shocks of Morton's book. One of its biggest revelations is that Harry issued a statement to the press while Prince Charles was trying to publicize a trip to the Middle East, and it made Prince Charles feel disappointed. Plus, it's about two figures who are now, in terms of the monarchy, utterly irrelevant. The Times ran 3 days of exclusive extracts from the book last week. The well ran dry so quickly that by day 3 it was resigned to printing descriptions of the wallpaper in a bar where Harry and Meghan once had a drink. So what's the point of the book? The extracts are so sympathetic that they seem like a clear attempt by Harry and Meghan to show the world who they really are. But that can't be the case, because this is a couple so fixated on maintaining their own privacy that surely they'd never stoop so low as to help out with a tawdry tell-all book. Or maybe this is a gentle reminder to the world that they've both still got the unqualified star power that, as the book incredibly claims, might eclipse that of the royal family. Whatever the intention, it seems likely that history will look back at Finding Freedom as a document of what gets left behind when you remove the royalty from members of the royal family. If the paucity of the extracts is any indication, the answer is not an awful lot. Meanwhile, in other news, Lady Colin Campbell has compared the Duchess of Sussex with Shakespearean villain Lady Macbeth, due to the influence she has over her husband Prince Harry. Lady Colin, who knew Prince Harry's mother, Princess Diana, warned the Duke of Sussex about the way his wife has acted and how he is now more distant from his family. Meghan and Harry's relationship has been chronicled in the controversial book Finding Freedom, which outlined the couple's fractious departure from the royal family. Speaking to The Sun, Lady Colin said, "Meghan's influence is very reminiscent of Lady Macbeth. To gain a toehold over Harry, she appears to have played to his weaknesses, just as Catherine has played to William's strengths. Meghan shares a lot of Harry's weaknesses. He is hyper-emotional, over-the-top, rushes where wise people don't, and is extremely self-important. Meanwhile, according to the CCN.com, it seems like the feud between Prince Harry and Prince William has rumbled on for ages, though it's only been a few months since the younger prince and his wife bailed out on their royal duties. Rumors suggest the brothers have begun to reconnect over Zoom, but an author is skeptical any progress they've made in repairing their relationship will survive the release of Finding Freedom's biography. Reporter Aubrey Hanson said on the CCN, "No, I don't think William and Harry will ever truly settle their disagreements until they sit down in the same room. In that sense, maybe a British sporting icon could provide the surprising conduit that brings them closer and ends this royal family feud." Earlier this month, Brooklyn Beckham, son of former Spice Girl Victoria Beckham and English football icon David Beckham, revealed he was engaged to actress Nicola Putz. This was big news, and not just for fans of the Beckhams. David Beckham is a self-confessed supporter of the royal family and a big royalist. Commentators immediately began speculating about whether Prince William and Prince Harry could run into each other at the wedding. Ms. Hansen continues, "The pandemic will exert considerable say over how this all plays out. Still, you'd like to believe that by the time the wedding arrives, life will be closer to the old normal than it is right now. I'd hope Prince Harry and Prince William manage to find the time to meet face-to-face in private before the wedding. Either way, I wouldn't be surprised if the Beckham wedding is the first time Harry and William appear in public together post-pandemic. If they attend, that is. However, something is missing in this discussion: the actual bride and groom. The more we analyze this potential situation, the worse it seems for Brooklyn Beckham and Nicola Peltz. There's every reason to believe Prince Harry, Meghan Markle, Prince William, and Kate Middleton will all get invitations. Still, you have to wonder if Peltz knows what she's in for. And the author doubts that, at the best of times, Meghan Markle faces allegations of trying to steal the limelight. Can you imagine the attention that will fixate on Meghan and Kate if they both appear at the Beckham wedding? Poor Nicola would be nothing more than a footnote at her own big day. Miss Hansen continued to predict that this would be unavoidable. She added, "I suspect the royals have too much regard for David Beckham to let that happen. The former Manchester United and Real Madrid footballer is as close as you'll get to British royalty outside of the actual monarchy. And by all accounts, he's genuinely close to both princes." Here's what Beckham said about Prince Harry after he and Meghan announced their exit from the royal family duties. "I haven't spoken to Harry about him moving. We speak as friends, and that's the most important thing for me. I think he's enjoying being a young father for the first time, and that's what we always spoke about. When you are a parent, it changes everything for you. He always needs to be happy." Beckham is fond of Prince William too. They've worked together on mental health initiatives for years. Beckham lavished praise on William's development into a gentleman and father. "We've seen William grow from that young boy into an unbelievable gentleman, and that as a father is really important. Neither prince will want to steal the spotlight from Beckham's son and soon-to-be daughter-in-law." And my author concludes, "Knowing how close they are to Beckham, it wouldn't surprise me if only one couple makes an appearance at the wedding, or if neither shows up. After all, it's Brooklyn and Nicola's big day. Nothing should detract from that." The controversial book was written by journalists Omid Scobie and Carolyn Durand. It highlighted several difficulties Meghan had trying to settle into the royal family. The book claimed the couple were unhappy with their supporting role in the family and felt constrained by the rules imposed by the palace. Extracts from the book, due to be published by HQ on August 11th, have also covered claims the Duke of Sussex was angered by what he perceived as his brother's snobbish attitude to his bride, and suggestions the Sussexes felt their complaints were not taken seriously and believed other royal households were leaking stories about them to the press. Of course, I can't believe this book. And you? Do you think this book is true? Please tell me in the comment section below so we can all discuss Meghan and Harry. If you feel so preferred with my video, remember to like and share for anyone who you might think would love it. Also, subscribe to the Sussex Daily News channel to get more news from the royal family.
The royal door was closed, and outside was the number of things that Meghan and Harry had to think. They used to think that things that the royal family gave them were frivolous things that had no value. And it was a mistake that made the public criticize their hands when what they received was more than that. Meghan could not stand the royal work, pressure, and challenges. Of course, other things she will be weak, no progression. She will never be able to do anything big. What she does is just rustle and hang on money from market sources.